if you're anything like me as a business owner, you go through phases of really looking at your numbers, seeing how your business is performing, seeing what's working and what's not. And then the other times when the numbers may not be that good and you don't want to admit the fact, you actually just bury your head in the sand and don't participate at all, totally ignoring your P&L, your balance sheet. You turn up to your accountants and they go, what's going on? How's it going? You go, oh, I don't know. It's pretty bad. At the moment in COVID especially, it's really up and down and choppy and changey. So it can be really easy to try and ignore what's going on in your business. But sometimes there's a real upside to that as well. There's that yin and yang that business owners go through. Today I thought I'd have a look at what are some key numbers that you should be looking at from a digital sales perspective. I know when we went through a bit of a change a few years ago and went, we're going to dive into a bit of video. I wanted to be able to track the performance of each of those videos and see whether it was actually influencing our bottom line. So our bottom line being, the profit and loss, the lag indicators, stuff that happens as a result of sales and how you run your business. These are all lag indicators. I don't really want to be paying too much attention to that as a sales, the sales head and growing my business. I need to be thinking about lead indicators. How much of that market am I capturing? How many inquiries are flowing through at that top line level? What's my visibility in search and how many people are finding me in Google? Therefore, I can work on those numbers if I've got more reach and more exposure at that top line, those lead numbers. So it's maybe not totally lead, but visitors to my website is a great number to think, okay, I've got this many visitors, am I converting them? Am I turning that into business? Are they inquiring? Are they buying? And are they ending up on my bottom line in the P&L? So it's really critical that you get a sense of how that actually works. So we started doing our videos, of which I've been doing it for about 18 months now. And we've learned some really interesting things. One was I adopted this 4DX, the 4 disciplines of execution. And part of that overall approach of that particular strategy is that you choose one goal. And that one goal is, you need to work it out. It needs to be a lead indicator that you can focus on, that you can really try and drive harder so that you can manipulate that number and make it work for you. So in my business, we wanted to do free analysis consults, and you inquire through the website to do so. So at that stage, we hadn't launched that strategy before. We introduced it on our site. Right back in 2018, that number was 0. So it was a pretty low base to work from, and I was trying to boost that up. I wanted at least one a day, one inquiry a day to actually do this analysis, because usually the analysis turned into some pretty solid business. Great strategy. So what are the other numbers that I actually tracked during this time? This is a spreadsheet that I would take, just look at different areas of my digital footprint and then record these numbers appropriately. So my content publish date, I'd release a particular video and then I'd say, well, okay, how much reach did that video have on Facebook? So here's my number here, 770 views or reach 772 people. What's my YouTube reach? Well, I hadn't really started a YouTube channel, but I got 14 views. So the numbers, we're not getting millions of views, thousands of views. I'm just after more visibility. And hey, 5 of those 14 might be the actual clients that I really want to work with. So I don't get too caught up in low numbers if you're starting this strategy and trying to track these numbers. So also over time, I'm looking for, down the track, there's many columns to this spreadsheet. So over time, I was looking at total stats with YouTube, time, views, subscriptions, etc., all of that. And then looking at LinkedIn. So being a B2B business, I want to build relationships with people, so LinkedIn is important to us. So what did that look like? The same sort of thing. I'd push it and share that article, share that video, and then see how many views it got, or likes or follows, and then look at also how the staff in the business were sharing that content as well, and what impact that was having for us as well. So very, very eye-opening, I'd say, was how all this was rolling. So I found it very hard to move that number, that inquiry number that I was really looking for. Yeah, I get 1 or 2 a week, but over time, gradually, we really saw some, incredible inquiry from the content marketing strategy. So I guess the takeaway is, don't necessarily get hung up on that number, although that's the number you're trying to move. You'll have plenty of other learnings about what you're trying to do with your sales strategy online based on trying to meet a particular target. So some of the other numbers we looked at were website reach. So where is our traffic coming from? In Google Analytics, it's under acquisition and then channels, and then it'll show you organic search, direct, referral, social, and if you're doing paid advertising, those numbers would be here as well, and you'd see how those numbers perform. So that all comes from Google Analytics. Eventually, I thought, well, if we're really growing these numbers, which we were, the numbers were growing, then let's have a look at monthly quotes. So I was tracking that in the same month as these views were growing. So we're looking at Quotient, which is our quoting software that we use. Total value of quotes written, total value of quotes won. What's the conversion rate of those quotes? Total number of quotes won, and the value of that as well. So some really solid insights, and I reckon it took about a year for these numbers here to really start ticking along and growing nicely over that time. We've had probably about a 60 to 70% growth in our numbers over the period of launching our video strategy. So for any of you thinking about engaging in content, then that's some of the numbers that go along there. So also of note is I'm looking at Google Search Console to get some of my stats. Early on, we're looking at clicks this is organic search, so natural searching in Google Search. How many clicks are we getting from organic search? What are my impressions? What's my overall visibility inside the Google sphere, if you like? What are the click-through rates? And what's the average position over all the hundreds of search phrases that people use to find us? How do I rank? Now that number's not great, and so it gave us a benchmark that we could work from. Again, I'm trying not to get too obsessed about the details, certainly on a week-to-week basis. And over time, I've started to move towards looking at it at a quarterly rate, and then you get a sense of trend. Not particularly, that article was crap or that video was crap. You're actually thinking at a much bigger picture. It definitely pays to be recording this stuff because you can get some really fantastic insights on a week-to-week basis, and then it'll inform your overall strategy for moving forward. So hopefully that's painted a picture of what you could do with your sales strategy. It's different for every business. If you're running a pure e-commerce store, this wouldn't be all I was looking at. I'd be looking at pay-per-click, user journey through to purchase, the transaction conversion number on that particular purchase or that product. All of that's in so much more detail in B2B. What we found happened was that number of inquiry for free analysis didn't really grow that much. I mean, we're still 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 a week, if that, but the phone is ringing. So, and it's ringing a lot. We're super busy, fully loaded up at the moment, which is fantastic. But it's a result of a broader base strategy, not, we have to funnel everyone through a particular inquiry path because that's how people inquire. Well, it's not. In B2B, it is phone call, it's email, it's through websites, it's a whole bunch of different strategies that roll into producing your overall numbers. So best of luck. Don't hesitate to reach out to me if you'd like to know more about some of these numbers. I can share this Excel file with you to have a look at how you could use it within your business if you actually wanted to. Don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel. We've got weekly and fortnightly content rolling out that's helpful for your digital strategies on a day-to-day basis, e-commerce, B2B selling and strategies, user experience, and how you can interact with your clients and customers better online and convert more business. Good luck.